Hello, Scorpio. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using the Tarot Grand Lux, I think. It's by Ciro Marchetti. That's how you spell Ciro's name. If I could stop shaking the box, that'd be helpful. Website is usgames.com. If you want that information, of course. Supportive Oracle cards, Energy Oracle cards by Sandra Ann Taylor. There's a couple websites. There's this Hay House Radio. Is it on there? No, where is it? Where's the Hay House Radio? It's on the back of the book. HayHouseRadio.com. There's a picture of Sandra, of course. There's other websites here. Hay House, is that the right one? That's the wrong one. Where is the right page? No, that is the right one. Okay. HayHouse.com and all those good websites if you're interested. It's a 2013 deck, or this print was 2013, so it should be still valid, but if they're not, I know Hay House is still around, so I'm thinking HayHouse.com is still probably good. If you're interested, of course. Okay, what do we have for Scorpio? What is that? Somebody thinks they know something they don't know. Is that what's going on here? What's going on? Maybe it's time to let people do what they want to do. What is that about? Somebody here is going to make a bad decision. I don't think it's you. But it's kind of like, I feel like you've been trying to help somebody, and it seems like it's been going on for a while. I'm getting the Five of Wands, but I'm getting it backed up with the Thinking Man, which don't get caught up in the gender, but basically, you've been trying to talk somebody out of doing something. You've been trying to talk them down, kind of like, I don't think that's in your best interest, I don't think that's a good idea. Feels like you've had multiple conversations about this. And the thing is, the situation has kind of been held up, but they're going to do what they're going to do. It's just how long before they actually do it. Maybe they need to learn their own lesson here. Because I feel like you might be even getting a little frustrated with this conversation, kind of like, I've been going on too long trying to talk them out of this. They're clearly not letting it go. And I do feel like you're right, that this is not the best idea. But maybe this is one of those moments where you could step away just far enough so they can just start getting their feet wet in the situation. Maybe instead of telling them not to do it, find a way for them to maybe try it out, get a taste of it, and realize they don't really want that. It's kind of like a dish. Like, it's almost like, oh, you think you'd like that, turnip pie? I don't think that's really for you. I don't think you'd like it. You don't seem to really like vegetables. And they're like, well, I think I want to try that turnip pie, and blah, blah, blah. Like, you know what? Why don't you, make it for one of these events? Why don't you make it for a potluck? Make that pie, take it with you, and see how it goes. That way, if you don't really want it, maybe somebody else does. And I get the strategy with, give them an idea about how to test that situation out, and then just step back and just let's see how it goes. Yeah, because I feel like you kind of want to give this person an idea about what they're getting into without them getting, neck deep in it. Let them get their feet wet. It's kind of like, when I was a kid and it was like the end of summer, my mom would say, yeah, we're not going to go swimming today. And I'd be really insistent, like, I really, really want to. And she'd be like, all right, you know what? How about this? We'll go down to the beach. You can't go in past this one buoy for like the first 15 minutes. After 15 minutes, if you still want to go a little deeper, we'll talk about it then. And sure enough, after like 5 or 6 minutes, I'd be like, yeah, I don't want to be in this. This is too cold. So it's kind of like I would just get enough of the experience to realize, you know what? No, I don't really want that. Not that she would have let me go in any farther anyway, but it's kind of like, all right, I'll let you experience this just enough so you realize why I'm telling you this is not going to happen. Kind of like that type of thing. Kind of like, you can go that far let's see what happens. Let's see if you figure out why this is not a good idea. And it wasn't like it was the end of summer. It wasn't that bad, but it was still kind of like, yeah, not as fun as I thought it was going to be. Not very much. And I'm up here in the Northeast, so water's colder at that time of year for us. They're whoever this is, they've been thinking about this. They really think this is going to work for them. Be aware of this. Earth can have a stubborn streak. So what they're trying to give you a heads up about is like, encourage them to just test something out and feel it out, and then it's kind of like, again, my mother telling me, like, for about 15 minutes, just don't go past that buoy and let's see how that goes, and then afterwards come back and talk to me and we'll see how it goes from there. So it's kind of like, give them a chance to test it out, see how they really like it, and then come back after they've experienced whatever they need to experience and let you know what they think, if they want to keep going that. Because there's the Earth does have a tendency to be a little stubborn. So if you give them, like, just going this far and then pull back energy, kind of like you're just going to try it for a little while, then you have to come back and we'll talk about it. It gives them a chance to, like, not only experience it, but then get a moment to, like, really think, like, do I really want to go deeper into that? It just gives them a sense to pull back, or a minute to pull back and, like, really decide for themselves. All right, I don't really think I like this as much as I thought. I don't have to go deeper. Do I want to go deeper? Because I had to pull back anyway. So before I go back into that, do I really want to go back into that? I think this will work to your advantage, because they need some experience in this. The Six of Cups is telling me they lack it, they need it. This is usually a history card, the Six of Cups. This is their challenge card. They need some experience with this situation. I don't think they need the full experience. Like, example, again, with the going into, like, the deep end of the cold water, I didn't need that experience, but, getting, like, up to, like, your ankles, maybe your knees, realizing, hey, this isn't as fun as I thought. This isn't as good as I thought. This is not comfortable. I don't really like this. I don't really like this as much as I thought I was gonna. Just enough experience so they can get a taste to go, no, bitter, really bitter, don't really like it. Bitter, when you're a kid and, you're asking your mom, can I have some of that chocolate? And she's like, no, it's bittersweet. You wouldn't like it. Yeah, I would love it. All right, here you go. Not good. One of those things, not good. Okay, this is another Earth card. I don't think it's that bad. It's the Devil card. No, I'm saying I don't think it's that bad. I know others of you are going to be like, oh, no, that's bad. This is what I'm saying. They're very determined to get into this situation. So it's kind of like, how far do they need to get in? They are very determined. Like, this situation will not pass without them at least trying it out. That's what they're trying to warn you with the Devil card. It's just, how far does it have to go? So they're just trying to give you this heads up. If you keep having this conversation with this person, they're not going to let it go. So some of them may get, like, a little bit knee deep and go, they're just insistent that they have to get into the deep end. If they're insistent, it's on them. You can only help so much, so be aware of that. This is not really something they want, it's something they think they want with the Devil card, because I'm getting the Eight of Swords with it, saying that they don't really want this, they do think they want this. It's kind of like, falling in love with a toxic person. You think you want to be in that relationship, but then 2 years in, when you can't stand them, you're like, yeah, they're really attractive, but that's it. That's as far as that goes. You can tell them all day, all night that this is not for them. This is not really going to be worth it. But they might have to wait for that, that honeymoon phase or that moon glow to pass by. Once the moon glow passes by and the daylight shows the truth, they're going to realize, oh yeah, no, the Scorpio kind of did know something I didn't. I just didn't want to hear it. But they're very insistent. So be aware of that. They're very insistent. They have to experience some of it. They're very optimistic about something. It's not going to go well, but because it's like the Fool is backed up with the Nine of Swords. This is not for them. I feel like you know that. You're like, yeah, I know this is not for them. They have to experience it though. They're not going to accept it until they have experienced some of it. You kind of changing your mind and kind of like, all right, go try some of it, and trying to get them to come back. That's a good idea. You'll have the energy here. You'll know what you're talking about. Once they have some experience in it, I feel like they'll listen to you better. Kind of like, yeah, you know how that's cold up to your knees? Well, when you get a little bit farther in, it's even colder the deeper you get. So if you dive down into that deep part, it's cold on the top. It's colder the farther down you get, the colder it gets. So you get like 3-4 feet deep, then you're gonna hit this level where it gets a little bit more cold. It's like 10 degrees colder. You go a little bit further than that, it gets 10 degrees colder than that. Like, you're not gonna like this. This is not for you. They'll listen to you more. They'll pay attention to you more. They'll be like, oh, Scorpio knew something. Scorpio does know things that I'm not believing, that I should believe. The overall outcome is this should go into like the Nine of Cups for them, where once they've experienced some of this and realize it's not for them, then the conversations should stop. Once they've experienced enough of it, and then they're like, yeah, I didn't really like that. It should satisfy the curiosity. It should satisfy that Devil card, and this should move on. Until the curiosity is satisfied, though, they can't get to this card. They can't move on. They can't be happy that they've at least tried it. They need to try some of it. That's how we move on from the situation. They have to try some of it. They have to have this Ace of Wands in the past where they've at least tried. The Ace of Wands does not have to be a full, this is the start. The question is, how far will it go? This could be the start of understanding, realizing why this is not for them. This doesn't have to be the start of a bad experience, because Ace of Wands is the start. It's a very passionate start. It does not guarantee a good start. I think sometimes people miss that. It does not guarantee success in the sense of like, this is what I wanted. This could just guarantee like a successful start into something that you might not have really wanted. This could end up in success in the sense of like, oh wait, I tried that. The success is realizing I didn't want it and moving on from it. And that could be their end result success. Are we good? I think so. I'm gonna let that go here. Thank you for watching. I hope it helps. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below with the same email. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.